And the test came back positive that it had THC.
Well, it's going to have a minuscule amount, yes.
Well, it actually got back to the maker of the product and was able to furnish multiple. All right, take two. Welcome back to the Hemp Boca show. We apologize for technical difficulties here. There is a storm out here in Boca Raton, Florida, so things were just flickering on and off. But we were just talking about a story that happened where these two grandmothers were arrested for having CBD, possession of CBD. And I was talking to my guest here, Christine from Busybody over here in Boca Raton, Florida, where they were arrested because it just basically said it had CBD. And the officers were talking about that they were so focused on the fact that it was CBD, but they weren't even mentioning anything about THC.
Yes.
And that's the THC part is really what is the psychoactive when you get to a certain percentage.
Yes.
And as you know,
it's wild.
It is. It's crazy. A hemp extract product. This is what they had on them. Hemp extract. That means that the product was made from the hemp seed oil. The hemp seeds have 0 THC in it. You know, the hemp plant itself is what has the THC, but no more than 0.3%. Now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, CBD is non-psychoactive. You touched on the lack of education and awareness.
Very big lack of education, and our officials out there need to be educated on it and what it is and how it really affects. And honestly, I think they should make them all try it so that they can see for themselves. Because they don't know, think about all the things you learn textbook or you learn in school. Yes, we learn all this information. I know with me with training and the body, but when you're actually doing things and applying things or trying things, it's a whole different entity, and then it kind of clicks a little bit more. So I think that would help them to say, okay, you know what, I think you all should try this and then see how you feel. They'll see there's nothing that we're not getting a buzz, you're not getting high, it's not like a fun party drug.
I mean the charges, I wanted to get to where this happened because it's so people, that are listening and watching, the charges were ultimately dropped, but the problem is that they were arrested.
Yes.
These are,
They've ruined their whole day.
Yeah, and
they're traveling. I mean, did that happen before they even got to fly out?
Yeah. It was scanned and it was found on them, but they were like, but here's the thing, during in the video, they were explaining that this was prescribed to it. It wasn't a prescription, but it was recommended by their doctors to take the CBD for their anxieties, and for them to not ask the right questions and just right away, okay, you're carrying a CBD bottle, we're gonna have to put you in cuffs, and they had to stay in jail, overnight. But great, the charges were dropped. It's just, I think law enforcement needs to also be educated. And stop wasting, money and time on things like this, where there's more important things to worry about. This is non-psychoactive products when it comes to just pure CBD.
I agree 100%.
But I'm glad the two grandmas are out of jail and nothing's going to happen to them. But I tell you, it is, it's unfortunate. But the FDA, when it came out just a few days ago, it was their first meeting, their initial meeting, and really getting into understanding the benefits of CBD. They do bring up some verifiable concerns, and a couple of them are, the labeling, right?
Yes.
That's one. How do you really create the right dosage for someone? That's two. Well,
they should start small and see how they're feeling, assess how they're feeling, and if, like yourself, you're offering the product and you're, giving that recommendation to your clients, then you want to tell the client, I want you to let me know how you feel tomorrow. Let's talk about it a little bit more. And you're going to stay with that client hand in hand until they actually get to the relief and what they're actually trying to attain.
Right.
And I think that's the best course of action for somebody that's in the industry.
I'm glad that the FDA is stepping in. I really am. I hope that the regulations or what their intent is to really focus on, okay, you know what, let's continue pushing these case studies. Let's get more data. Let's see if we can confirm that this is helping the anxieties, the
Well, I know
fibromyalgia,
there
the
are
chronic pains, the
some
things.
university hospitals in Pennsylvania that are actually doing those case studies right as of
Yes.
now, as we speak.
Correct. And there's Harvard, there's Yale, there's
Yes.
Stanford. They're all doing case studies. But I found that a lot of the case studies they're starting with is marijuana. Some of the students are more focused on the millennials too. I mean, the millennials and the baby boomers are our biggest customers in CBD, in the CBD industry. It's the Generation X that we struggle with, that they just have pushback, or most of the stigmas from, and that's fine. But you get
I
these
find that
students.
interesting. So how did you get those numbers, actually?
There are articles. A few months ago, I was wanting to know when we were pushing our new products.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to know, okay, as far as marketing, right?
Yes.
You wanna try to market an area where you're going to get the most reaction, the most exposure,
Yes.
or conversational. With all the social media it's going on, and I'm horrible at social media. But what I understand is, like, if you narrow your search down to a group of people that are big supporters of CBD,
Yes.
and I learned that that's where you kind of market, but you engage conversations. You don't just go and quickly sell your product in that group you engage, you get their feedback.
No.
So I learned.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I learned that, and with data and with the schools and universities and what students prefer, is that especially students that like to smoke marijuana, they understand this. They understand CBD. They understand what the hemp plant's about. What's non-psychoactive versus psychoactive. What's non-intoxicated. What's intoxicated. And THC. I found millennials more educated, more willing to understand and learn about CBDs. The other side of that, to your question, as far as baby boomers, Medicare and medical, prescriptions are very expensive.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you know that.
I see that with our parents.
Yeah, and the baby boomers are on budget. They're fixed. A lot of them fixed budgets, so they look for alternatives. And they actually we found that a lot of the customers are more interested in learning CBD and giving an alternative, creating a healthier lifestyle, right? Instead of keep taking the painkillers and those different ibuprofens. And that's what I found. The Generation X, I still haven't grasped why there's a stigma, why they're all about the prescriptions.
You know what else? Yes. I'm curious on that myself. I know when I've talked to a few people about CBD and to do it, I also am with, an advocate. So they're willing to put their child on ADD medication. My daughter was ADD and I refused to do it. I wish this was around then, but it wasn't. But I kept her very natural. But they're willing to give that child that Adderall or those things that their doctors are prescribing, but I don't know. I need to do a little more research on the CBD. It is a plant that grows in the ground, but you're going to force those drugs on your children that have tremendous side effects all the way around. When my daughter was 16 years old, she was giving me a little problem in high school, and I sat in the principal's office the one day, and the principal looked at me and she said, "Well, you won't medicate your daughter. You're a horrible mother." I said, "I'm a massage therapist. I'm very holistic. How can you tell me I'm a bad mother? It goes against my beliefs." She's being a teenager. She's 16. This is what they do. And she said, "Well, you have to medicate children." Now, my daughter's 26 years old now, so I'm going back 10 years, And I told her then, I said, "You are creating a generation of drug addicts by forcing these kids to take these medications." And let's fast forward. And what happened? That was the exact generation when I sat and the kids were taking all the pills and they were stealing their parents' prescription medications. I had meetings and parent-teacher conferences with this. It was horrible and it was running rampant. And those kids, they're the ones that go up in that generation and opioids, and look how bad it got.
Right.
It was like I was looking in a crystal ball and I just knew it. How can you teach these children to be dependent on this kind of a medication instead of teaching them how to really deal with it properly? And that was my thing.
I think it's the old school mentality. in that age group, you have the students, who are young, who fresh, wanting to learn, and with CBD just coming out,
Yes.
it's something new to them, right?
Of course.
So they're more apt to learning about it and wanting to understand it. So you have the Generation X where they're more stuck on the old school. Oh, the only way is to go get the prescription and go to.
Well, I feel like they grew up thinking, okay, marijuana is a gateway drug, so it's all bad no matter what, and that's
Yeah.
it, and they got in trouble, and it was no good, and that was it.
But-
Because they all were smoking marijuana back in the day. Let's be real.
But you know what? To your point, that's why I think one of the reasons why the baby boomers are also a big component or supporter of CBDs, because during their time, Woodstock days,
Yeah.
that's all it was just smoking marijuana and stuff. So I really believe that the millennials and the baby boomers have something in common. The millennials are a lot of them are smoking now.
Yeah.
You got the baby boomers that already started 30, 40 years ago that was smoking.
Yes.
So they have that compatibility. And then the other thing is that they understand. They really understand. That I believe the age group, the Generation X, they're all about, for the most part, no, let's do the traditional thing. Let's go to the doctor. Let's get the prescription for the opioid, what have you. But it's going to change. It's
Everything is changing.
going to change.
It's changing dramatically.
It is actually forcing. You see more and more stories now where doctors are now making a recommendation to go try CBD.
Oh, yes.
Instead of writing that prescriptions, and I like that. Not to say that this is the answer. It's not the answer. It's just an alternative. And as the years come and go by, and as more and more data is going to come out and case studies, doctors are going to start coming out of the woodwork and confirming the legitimacy of and why our bodies react so well to
I feel as though if doctors were to embrace it, and they could help their patients cipher through all the craziness that's going on with that, because we all know that, like I said, CBD is like the Wild West out there. So if we had doctors who embrace it, and they embrace certain companies like yourself and work together, hand in hand together, that doctor still could benefit from that greatly. They're helping their patients greatly, and we're all working together for that common goal, and that would be the ultimate thing. That would be my vision of what I would love to see.
And for me, for having these products and really getting into the heart of the industry, and my business partner Gene, we want to understand why our bodies react, to the CBD. Yes, we can sit here all day long and talk about the endocannabinoid system.
Yes.
And that we all have natural CBD, but that's all great. But we want to understand why it's reacting that way, and
what
that's
I've
what I'm
learned,
interested
I've done
in.
some reading on a lot of reading, a lot of education, and what I was taught, because we have those CB1 and CB2 receptors, and each one does come to different areas of the body. The cannabinoids going into your body when you do that just helps to wake those up. So now they're active and they're doing what they need to do.
True, but we talk to a lot of people that are using our product, testing our product, wanting to get involved with the Hemp Boca, and we listen to what their questions are and what they're trying to understand. And the common question is, or the concern is that yes, it's all working. You get everybody coming in, coming all around the world or the country saying, okay, this is taking care of this is taking care of that. But there are people out there that want medical documentation, from, and that's, and it's starting, right? It's starting in the universities.
Yes.
I know some doctors personally that have case studies that they're going to be starting to do more case studies, and I'm anxious for that. But yeah, so do you use CBD yourself?
I do.
Yeah, and you say anxiety?
Yes.
Use it for anxiety? And
I think everybody has a little bit of anxiety.
For sure.
I mean, life is stressful,
Of
and it
course.
just comes at us.
It's very common.
I've never taken medication for it. I've never been diagnosed by a doctor, but I can tell you, yes, I get anxious with certain things, and I don't know what it is about being a little older. I think when you're young, you're very fearless. I know I was fearless. I still am in a lot of ways, but then I think logic comes in, and that gives us that anxiety. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
now your second mind is saying,
Yeah.
"No, what are you thinking?" And then let's think about this, that, and the other thing all at the same time. You know, because you have so many things coming at you. So when I do that, it kind of brings me a little more present, and it makes me focus on what I need to focus on. I'm not scattered all over the place, or I'm not thinking about that in left field. And you know what? Oh yeah, I have to deal with this issue. No big deal. Let's just handle it. You know,
yeah.
and that's one of the things I say when people say to me, "What am I going to feel when I take the CBD?" It's not what you're going to feel, it's what you're not going to feel, I try and explain, you know,
Yeah.
because you're not going to get high, you're not going to have like some big buzz and euphoric thing. It's not going to be like that.
That's right. You know, not too long ago, I was down in Miami, and, you know, I literally took a street, and I just walked down the street, and I just started talking to people about CBD, just to get our name out there, to just to understand what people are thinking.
Yes.
And I would go up. I remember these two girls who were waitresses at a restaurant, and I asked. I said, "So have you ever tried CBD?" And one of them responded back and said, I've never done drugs before." And then the other one was like, "I just came out of rehab," and it was, you know, and I was congratulated her. You know, she fulfilled her mission in rehab, but what was interesting was that they interpreted CBD as a drug.
I know.
And
that's sad.
And I sat there and I explained to them. I said, "Listen," I said, "I understand. You are not to blame at all. It's just that's what's out there. People are, you know, what you're hearing, what you're saying. But the product that I'm talking to you about has nothing to do with the cannabis or marijuana plant. This is an all natural product from the hemp plant, and you cannot get high from it, and it's not considered a drug. It's a dietary supplement, sort of thing." But they didn't understand it. They didn't realize.
Which rehabs might be a little bit more effective if they maybe introduced the CBD to help those kids with some coping mechanisms. It gave them coping skills, because that's one of the things that they relapse, because they don't have those coping mechanisms. You know, they're going to battle those addictions for life.
Right.
And if they realize, you know, in a lot of them, it is that high anxiety. And when that hits, a lot of people don't process that properly, and I find that's why the relapses have happened.
Right.
And do you know what the saturation for actual rehabilitation is with rehabs? When I heard this, I was appalled, but it's actually only 3%. 3% is being rehabilitated. The rest are relapsing. That is insane. So there's something they're not doing right. So let's try and do something else to help.
Yeah, we tried getting into some rehab facilities, you know, where we can just educate.
Yeah, they're not into
even
it.
sell our product. We're only going to bring our product in there.
No.
Just pass out brochures and let's have a Q&A session.
Nope.
And we've tried, and they're not calling us back.
They are not open to it
I
at all.
even tried doing an event at an assisted living facility. And I remember for a week I made several phone calls, and I was turned down. I got hung up on. I was like, "I'm sorry, we're not into drugs." I'll never forget that. I was like, seriously? Okay, yeah. Like, I'm going to bring illegal drugs to an assisted living facility, and I mean, it's
because they've all been told by their higher powers, no, you cannot. You know why? And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to take it to greed, and I'm going to take it to money, and I'm going to take it to the insurance companies. The insurance companies don't make any money from this, and all of those facilities, rehabs included, and we know because we've seen all the controversial and the things that have happened down here, they are getting as much money as humanly possible from these insurance companies. And the assisted living, I could see that being the same exact thing. And I guarantee you that's why they will not take it. They won't even accept a call. They don't want any education in there. Because how are they going to bill the insurance companies for thousands and thousands of dollars for all these other little things when we have one thing that can heal them for almost nothing?
Right. It's horrible. If any of you out there listening or watching that has a relative in an assisted living facility, and you're not a big fan of opioids or them sedating them, you know, think about Hemp Boca. You know, we really are trying to get into the facilities around South Florida. We want to just educate. We want to have seminars. We want to have just Q&A sessions. We want to get the word out. You know, so if you know of anybody and if you're interested, you can go to hempboca.com or call us at 561-330-5655. I do want to take the last 5 minutes that I have of the show. First, I want to thank you.
Oh,
you
thank
see,
you
for
for
being.
having
This
me.
is a nice surprise. I came here solo, and Freddie's like, "We're gonna put a guest on there for you."
I bet
so
he didn't know I was educated with CBD though. He's
Yeah,
probably
this is
thinking,
great.
Who's this girl?
it was great. No, but thank you. It's really nice to have you, and it was great to have your input on CBD, on your side of what you see,
Absolutely, I love it.
and your contribution here in helping people feel better, look better.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. But I have to take the last 5 minutes. I want to do a shout out to Jean. She is my co-owner of the Hemp Boca, but also co-host of the Hemp Boca show. There's not much I can say at this point, but we're working on something very, very, very big, and 100% of it has to do with Jean's efforts and what she's been doing in the last several weeks. As all of you know, I mean, we've already, she's been on the show a couple weeks ago. She's in Thailand, where she's from, and we're working on something, and I just wanted to let you know that everybody here misses you, first of all, and you're doing an incredible job. I had to change my schedule here because when we have our meetings, it's like, it's because of the times or so, but it's well worth it. But I just want to do a shout out to you and your family and everybody that's out there helping. You got a team going. We look forward to you coming back soon, and you can tell us all about it in more detail if you like. But I just want to say thank you. I'm so proud of you. You're an extraordinary woman, and I'm so blessed to have you as a business partner. Have a good day tomorrow. Thank you for joining myself, Christina, at the Hemp Boca show in Boca Raton at Busybody. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. Again, go to hempboca.com. There's a lot of educational material there. More than welcome to call us directly. I'll answer the phone, 561-330-5655. We'll see you next Tuesday, 2:30 to 3:30. Bye now.
Bye, guys.
Experian Travel, a subsidiary of Cruise Planners Travel Advisor, is merely a selling agency and makes no warranty expressed or implied. Each cruise planners is individually owned and operated. Experian Travels and Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and a very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. Our travel advisors will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. We specialize in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation just for you. The material presented in this commercial is provided for informational purposes only and is based upon information that is considered to be reliable. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security or other financial instrument. Securities or other financial instruments mentioned in this material are not suitable for all investors. Any opinions expressed herein are given in good faith, are subject to change without notice, and are only intended at the moment of their issue as conditions quickly change. Phil, a regular guest on Bloomberg Canada's Money Talk, with a recent public platform average over 100% annual gain, said, "Don't gamble with your investments, be the house, not the gambler." At philstockworld.com, a top stock market investment site in the U.S. and ranked most influential stock market professional with almost 500,000 Twitter followers. Visit www.philstockworld.com for more information.
Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market. Made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.